Nathan Cole was a man who loved the ocean. In his early 40s, he had spent half his life serving in the Coast Guard, patrolling the waters and rescuing those in need. After retiring, he chose to stay close to the sea, working as a maintenance supervisor at the local dock. His days were simple: fixing boats, chatting with fishermen, and helping tourists who came for the breathtaking coastal views. Nathan wasn't the kind of man to draw attention to himself. He preferred to keep a low profile, his quiet demeanor masking the sharp instincts and strength that had been honed over years of service. His muscular frame and steady gaze hinted at a man who had seen and endured more than he let on. This day started like any other. Nathan arrived early, sipping his coffee as the morning sun lit up the dock. He greeted the fishermen, checked on the moored boats, and began his routine inspections. The air smelled of salt and freedom, a scent he'd come to love. But as the afternoon rolled in, trouble approached. A group of 5 bikers rolled into the parking lot near the dock. Their roaring engines broke the peaceful rhythm of the coastal town. The leader, Vince, was a burly man with a loud voice and an even louder attitude. His crew, Jax, Leo, Duke, and Marty, followed him everywhere, their tattoos and leather jackets announcing their presence. The bikers parked their motorcycles and swaggered toward the dock, ignoring the authorized personnel only signs. Nathan noticed them from a distance but didn't react immediately. He preferred to give people the benefit of the doubt. "Hey, old man," Vince shouted as they neared Nathan. "We're here to check out the boats. Got a problem with that?" Nathan put down the wrench he was holding and turned to face them. "This area's restricted. Tourists can view the harbor from over there," he said calmly, pointing toward the public walkway. Vince smirked, clearly enjoying the chance to assert himself. "We're not tourists, we're just looking around. Don't see why that's a problem." Nathan didn't rise to the bait. "It's not about what you want to do. It's about the rules. Please leave the dock." The gang didn't move. Instead, Vince stepped closer, towering over Nathan. "You don't look like a cop to me. Why don't you back off before you get hurt?" Nathan's voice didn't waver. "I'm asking you nicely. Don't make me repeat myself." The tension in the air was thick. The fishermen nearby had started to take notice but kept their distance, unsure of what would happen next. Jax, one of the bikers, laughed and grabbed a nearby fishing rod, snapping it in half. "What's the big deal? It's just a dock, right?" Nathan's jaw tightened, but he didn't move. His calm exterior masked the storm brewing inside. Vince, emboldened by the lack of immediate consequences, shoved Nathan's shoulder. "What are you going to do, old man? Fight us!" Nathan took a step back, not because he was afraid, but because he knew what could happen if he lost control. "Last chance," he said, his voice steady. "Walk away." But Vince wasn't done. He grabbed a nearby buoy and hurled it into the water, laughing. "Oops, my bad." That was the final straw. Nathan moved faster than any of them expected. With a single, well-placed maneuver, he disarmed Vince of the knife he'd pulled out as a threat. Before the rest of the gang could react, Nathan had Vince pinned against a post, his arm twisted behind his back. "Enough," Nathan said, his voice low but firm. The bikers froze, their confidence shaken. Vince winced in pain, realizing too late that they had underestimated the quiet man at the dock. "Get out of here," Nathan ordered, "and don't come back." The gang retreated, their bravado replaced by fear. But as they left, Vince turned back, his eyes full of rage. "You're going to pay for this," he hissed. Nathan thought the matter was settled, but a few nights later, he found his small boat vandalized. The ropes were slashed, the engine was smashed, and payback was spray-painted across the side. Nathan's heart sank, not because of the damage, but because he knew the gang wouldn't stop. Instead of reporting it, Nathan prepared. He didn't want the bikers to hurt anyone else. He spent the next few days quietly observing the gang's movements, learning their routines. He discovered that they were using a nearby abandoned warehouse as a hideout for smuggling stolen goods. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. The bikers were breaking the law, and Nathan felt a responsibility to stop them, not as a former soldier, but as someone who cared about his community. One stormy night, Nathan put his plan into action. Using his Coast Guard training, he navigated the docks silently, disabling the gang's motorcycles and locking the gates to their hideout. As the bikers scrambled to figure out what was happening, Nathan confronted them. "What's the matter?" Nathan asked, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Thought you'd have an easy time scaring people around here?" The gang rushed at him, but Nathan was ready. Using the environment to his advantage, he outmaneuvered them, one by one. He didn't just rely on strength. He used strategy, trapping them in the warehouse until the authorities arrived. When the police showed up, they found the bikers tied up and surrounded by evidence of their smuggling operation. Nathan handed over the keys to the warehouse and walked away, his job done. The next morning, the dock was peaceful again. Nathan sat on the same bench where he had started his day, watching the waves roll in. The fishermen thanked him quietly, offering him coffee and warm smiles. Nathan didn't see himself as a hero. He was just a man who stood up for what was right. As he looked out at the ocean, he felt a sense of calm. The sea, with all its storms and serenity, mirrored his own journey, a reminder that strength often lies in quiet resilience. Nathan's story reminds us that true power isn't about proving yourself, it's about protecting what matters. Even the calmest waters can carry the strongest currents, and even the quietest people can stand up against the tide when it matters most. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.